hit the subscribe button, hit the alerts if you enjoy what you see here. And whether you subscribe or not, I have two questions for you as a viewer. First, after watching Army of Thieves, do you want to see more from this Army of the Dead universe? Because I do. And second question, do you agree with me that Army of Thieves is much better than Army of the Dead? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Whole Views, and today we're going to talk about Army of Thieves. So let's go ahead and talk about why I came up with the score I came up with, and just discuss the movie in general, because it's been out a few weeks now and there's no reason why we can't just get into a full detailed spoiler discussion. So my overall score is an 8.2 out of 10. I think this was a very good movie, way better than I expected it to be. I've watched several Netflix films this year so far, and I feel like this is one of the best. Not as far as just being a masterfully done piece of cinema. Not saying that, because if we really want to get into it, I think The Power of the Dog is probably one of those ones that's like masterful cinema, but at the same time a Netflix film. And while I didn't enjoy watching that one, I found Army of Thieves being way more entertaining than most things that I've seen on Netflix, as well as better done, like a better completed package than most other Netflix films. So let's go ahead and look at it. When I talk about story probably being the weakest link, I found it to be very interesting, but at the same time I can easily see how someone else could watch this same movie and not be gripped by the story that they're trying to tell about Ludwig, or Sebastian, however you want to call him, like him, Dieter from Army of the Dead, his backstory and how he became this world-renowned safecracker and why he was how he was. It was very, very interesting. Again, I could see if someone else doesn't get into the whole idea of the safes and all the different levels of the safe creator, the Wagner and all that stuff, I could see how they could lose people. But for me, I found it very interesting, and it gave so much more depth to the Army of the Dead movie. Looking at the story play out, I feel like it made me want to go back and watch Army of the Dead again, just to see if I could pick up on more from Dieter that I just kind of wrote off when I watched it the first time. It might hit harder after watching this, which is a sign that this was very well done. Moving into the pace of the movie, I feel like it was paced very well in the beginning, although I do know I had to pause it a few times and go do things around the house. I feel like this movie was very, very well paced. I didn't want to miss a second of it. I didn't find myself checking runtime, checking the phone. Things moved briskly, and I think the lead actress, Natalie Emmanuel, she really caught my attention. After first seeing her on screen, she gave a lot of intrigue. There was some voiceover from Ludwig's character, and he kind of like really made her seem intriguing, so I wanted to see the layers that she would present as the movie kind of continued, and I feel like she did a great job being the leading lady here and keeping me intrigued. Even when the movie slowed down to just conversation, I wanted to see where things would go. And again, good chemistry on screen between Mathis, I think his real name is Mathis, and her, like very good stuff between them. And even when the action slowed down, their conversations, their on-screen chemistry really kind of kept me engaged and involved. So the pace was very good, better than most, in my opinion. Their on-screen chemistry being a thing that kind of leads me right into the visuals. I give the visuals here a 10 out of 10, not just for the acting performances that we see on screen, because all of them seem to be very, very good. Especially the character of Karina Rubio Fee. I really liked her, but the on-location shooting that happened throughout this, you could tell it's a Eurocentric movie. I like the fact that there was like language switching that seemed very natural. It also played very well into the story of having, you know, him be a YouTuber, so he would use English as well as use his German. Like when it came natural, like he hurt himself, he would scream in German. So it just made sense. And I liked, again, you had Interpol, so you had international police, people who were French, people with different languages, and they kind of just switched. It was real cool to see. And again, the on location stuff. This was not a backlot shot movie. There was no, or maybe there were some built sets, but it looked like a lot of stuff took place in these foreign countries, not in some soundstage. So that was cool. It brought the film to life, and again made it seem of a high level of production value, higher than some of the things that I've seen that I kind of expected to look better. This one looked really great because of that production value, that on location shooting, and again the performances from all the actors. Real good experience. You're gonna see some great performances from these guys, and the chemistry between not just the leading man and leading lady, but the crew as well. Everybody was pretty good. One guy who really stood out to me is the Alexis character. I couldn't shake it. Do y'all feel like this guy looks like a young Hugh Jackman? That's really what he came off as to me. Like, he really looked like a young Hugh Jackman, kind of villainous. It translated well. I liked it. Also kind of reminded me of Clint Eastwood's son. What's his name? Can't remember his name, but the young Eastwood guy. Like, he kind of reminded me of him as well. So watching the visuals for this movie unfold, the performances as well as the on-screen locations and the cinematography, all that stuff was real good. Came together real well. I like the visuals. Having such good visuals lends itself to a high rewatchability score. So you mix in a good pace, you mix in a decent story, as well as some great visuals, and you have a very entertaining, very rewatchable film. It's relatively clean, so I can recommend it for most audiences. I can't really recall much cursing out, besides the occasional S word when someone would get hurt, or really just Ludwig getting hurt. There's a little bit of violence, but nothing over the top, nothing crazy. No sex, even though there's some sexual stuff in there. It's good. It's a good, relatively clean. I feel like it should be rated. Oh no, wait a minute. There's a little bit of horrific stuff. I still feel like it'd probably be rated PG-13 and fly in most households. Definitely get recommended, as well as like, hey, this was pretty cool, fun ride to watch unfold. So I would rewatch it. And speaking to the funness of it, that goes to the final score of entertainment value, and I'm high on it. I think it was very entertaining. I watched this after a long day of being out and ripping and running throughout Southwest Louisiana. Like, I was all over, I feel like. So being able to come back and sit down and watch this just in silence by myself, no one else around, I was like, yo, this has me intrigued. I'm not gonna doze on this. Like, I want to see what happens next. I want to see how things unfold. And when you get to the very last few scenes in the movie, you know certain things are gonna happen because this is a prequel. So Ludwig, the character, has to make it to a certain point. But they still have a good bit of a twist there for you. Like, hey, we're not gonna give you everything. Like, there's gonna be some things you just won't know. So cool stuff there. I like the way that the movie was packaged and put out there. I liked it. I really did. I did not expect to. I know I'm a few weeks late because it's been out, but I think it's one of the ones that if you have time during the holiday season and you get sick of the Christmas movies and you got time to put on something entertaining, this is definitely one that you should put on. If you agree, please like this video. If you enjoyed the review, please like this video and consider subscribing. That's all I have to talk about here. Enjoy yourself, guard your heart, and please come back and check out more videos.